Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm super late getting started tonight. I was filming a new video for YouTube launch and lost track of time. Funny how having a soapbox to stand on and talk when no one else is interrupting you, that you can go over and lose track of time pretty quickly. I need to adjust my stream info because it still got me showing as playing Conan when I'm actually playing Path of Exile 2. Get that knocked out real quick. And thanks for the sub, Honeybuzz. I appreciate it. Hopefully everybody's having a good evening. So throughout the week, starting last Friday night, we started playing Conan Exiles. I haven't played it, and it was almost 5 years to the day. We're just a few weeks off of being exactly 5 years since the last time we played. The game's had a fairly decent amount of changes, but at the same time, very little changes. So that has been interesting to deal with. Trying to figure out what's different and what isn't, and because some of it's kind of minor. They had a massive change in the combat system, for example, but when you haven't played the game for 5 years, it's hard to remember exactly what's different and what isn't. I can say that now that I've played Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days of it, I liked the old combat system better. I think they've made the game worse by changing the combat system, and it sounds like they have some plans to improve that in the near future. So hopefully they continue with that. They did release a statement talking about the fact that they were going to go through and fix a bunch of bugs and quality of life improvements and stuff like that. It was going to be their major content patch for the first of the year. I'm figuring that it's probably going to be close to March before we actually see those updates, so unfortunately we may not be playing on the server anymore by the time that happens, because we're already starting to get to a point on the server where we're starting to run out of stuff to do. So but so far the changes that they made to the combat system, you don't have directional combat anymore. Used to, you could point your mouse in a specific direction, so basically the direction that you were looking, and your character would always swing in that direction. And they have now actually changed it to where the direction that you swing is based on the direction your character is facing, not your camera. So your character does not auto change direction based on your camera facing anymore, which makes the combat really frustrating unless you're using the lock-on combat system for Conan Exiles. And that combat system has its own problems. Like, it's very difficult to switch targets, or if you're trying to run away, because all of your key commands, your movement keys, are changed to the relation of the target. So pressing forward doesn't, it's going, essentially pressing forward will run you towards the thing you're targeted on, and pressing backwards will run you away from the target that you're focused on currently, which is completely different than facing a certain direction and hitting forward to run in that direction. So it's a little bit annoying when it comes to that concept. But I've heard that they're working on improving that to where it gets back into a directional camera kind of forcing the direction of your attack swings, which means you shouldn't have to use lock-on anymore to be able to fight well. And I'm definitely looking forward to that fix, because it's been really frustrating to deal with otherwise. But other than that, the game's been pretty entertaining. I feel like the system that they have for live, where they're trying to make your base feel alive, I forget what it was actually called, but that system is very lacking. Yeah, I mean, for one, it's completely bugged right now. So if you don't want your server and game to be crashing constantly, you have to disable it server side, which is sad that they realized that it was causing people's games and servers to crash regularly, and that the fix for it was like, oh well, let's just add this thing in here so that you can disable it, as opposed to going, oh yeah, this is a serious problem, let's actually fix this. So like their fix for it is like just turn it off. And they did, like, that wasn't an original option that they had. They had to add that. So you know, it's like, so you guys have identified that there's a problem, but instead of fixing the problem, you're just like, it's easier to just program in an option that says turn it off. You know, so that completely defeats the purpose. And then when you have it disabled, if you don't have the system set up to where they're the dudes are walking all over your base and making the base look alive, then the old system was way better. And you know, so like the new system has tons of other issues that I don't like, that I would be willing to put up with to have a lively looking base. But the fact that the base isn't live, in my opinion, they should have just had a system where it's like, hey, if you don't like the new system, then turn on this option, and it completely reinstates the old system. And the old system was, whenever you had workers or anything, you would assign them to a specific table, and then they just stayed with that table the entire time, never moved, never went anywhere. They were just always there. But one of the other problems that they have is, because they wanted to have a live base system, you only have to have one smelter. If you have 50 smelters in your base, one smelter will give their bonus to, or one smelter NPC, like worker, will give their bonus to every smelting station that you have in your base, which means you now only need one smelter to cover your entire base, whereas before, if you had 20 smelting buildings, you had to have 20 smelters to get the speed and, you know, crafting bonuses from doing so. Which, in my opinion, I mean, maybe they did it because they were trying to reduce the number of NPCs that people had in their base. I mean, that's one thing. But it has significantly reduced the amount of gameplay, because that's a whole lot of gameplay is running around and collecting different crafters and stuff to put inside of your base. So the fact that you only need to get one of each type of crafter now, for the most part, it just kind of means that, like, well, I mean, what does it matter? It's like you lose all this gameplay, you know, like it's like, well, it's like, well, used to I could, you know, mingle in going out and fighting and doing some stuff, and it's like, oh cool, I found this cool NPC, I'm gonna grab it and take it back to base, and you know, it would just give you a little extra content to do. But now it's like, well, if I ever see a single smelter, I get him, and then I don't ever have to worry about getting smelters again if the one that I got was top tier. It's like, if it was a tier 4, there's no need to ever get another one. So now it's not like, oh well, I need like 6 smelters, but they're kind of hard to find, so I always have to keep my eye out for them, and when I see one, I need to grab it and take it back. So it just cuts down on a whole lot of playtime for, you know, necessity things. I think that was a very bad move on their behalf, because it's like, I mean, and I guess a lot of it has to do with how other people play survival games, but you know, generally we'll play a survival game and we play it from scratch, and then when we've done everything, we quit and we go play something else, and then we want to come back in the future and play from scratch again. So you're getting that full gameplay loop every time. But now it's like they've just obliterated the gameplay loop. So I don't know. It's like I'm gonna have my. I won't want to come back to it as quickly. Like, it'll be a lot of years before I want to come back and play the game again, if I even do at all, unless they make some significant changes to the game. So I feel like it was a bad direction for what these games seem to be about, at least for the group that I play with. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for Conan Exiles right now. The game's not in a horrendous state. The bugs that people complain about are a little rough, but I mean, that's just going to be the way it is until they get the patch out. I mean, they at least have agreed that there are significant amounts of bugs, and that they understand that they're losing players over this, and they're like, okay, hey, we're not going to release new content. We're just going to fix bugs for the first 4 months or so of this year. I just wish they would do them in more incremental patches, but it sounds like they're just going to make this one huge patch. But it's like there's a lot of small problems that you guys could do like small incremental patches and start alleviating some of this excessively annoying things about the game right now. That, you know, that are relatively small, but because there's so many of them, it just gets really, really frustrating to deal with. So we'll see if they end up going that route or not, but it doesn't sound like they are. It sounds like they're just going to try to go for one massive patch and fix everything at one time, which unfortunately, based on their track record, means that they will just introduce a whole bunch of other bugs that they may or may not immediately fix. So yeah, if you played Conan before, Conan Exile before, and you liked it, you're probably fine playing it again, and you know, not enough has changed to make any real difference. But yeah, it is what it is. I literally have not played this game since like last, I guess for a little bit on Friday was the last time I played, and it's kind of hard switching from one game to the next. I sometimes forget, like, oh yeah, I got to be really careful about being spit on, because while I know it won't kill me, I always forget that it stuns the crap out of you, and you just can't fight while you're being stunned constantly. Or dazed, or I don't even know what it is that's happening at the moment. That's also probably one of the reasons that you think it's fun, because you haven't gotten to play much.
Light.
To be fair. Yeah, Nell unfortunately made the mistake of opening weekend of playing this previous Monday and Tuesday. She had to work third shift, so I guess actually, technically, this is. I don't know. This is Wednesday. Yeah. So yeah, Monday and Tuesday she had to work third shift, which means, or not necessarily third shift, but a 12-hour shift instead of her normal 8-hour shift, which means she got almost no playtime for the past 2 days, and then she played a little bit Monday night, but then when she came in Tuesday night, she had to go straight back to her other schedule today, which means she didn't actually get to play pretty much at all from coming in from work, because she had to basically just go straight to bed in order to be able to get up in time to be to work today.
What is it?
I don't know if these boots are any good or not, but the rest of this stuff isn't overly impressive. I have the program running in the background, the Exiled Exchange right now, so let me boot that up, and then we'll see if I can actually get a price on this item or not. Oh, there we go. Allegedly it's worth a regal, so I'm probably better off just disenchanting that for Chance Shard. It's actually something I should probably consider just going through and doing real quick, is after I finish this map, I may go through and blow up a bunch of stuff that hasn't been selling. I hate this burning ground crap. It's like, it's just an annoying effect.
Die, horror!
yeah, this game fixed a whole bunch of bugs in a patch recently, and it's all been good stuff so far. I haven't had any major complaints. I haven't run into any new issues that they have generated by fixing these bugs. The only unfortunate thing is I didn't notice, and you know, these may be just small things that sometimes they don't even post up, but there were a lot of issues with some of the rares being spawned off the edge of the map for some of the
I have no space for
tile
that.
sets, and you couldn't complete certain, you couldn't complete certain ones of the maps just because you couldn't actually get to where the last rare mob you needed to kill was. And I don't know if they have fixed those or not, because I didn't see anything in the patch notes where they claimed that they fixed them. So I don't know if it's just something they fixed silently as they've been finding them, or if they're still at large. I know there was also the issue with certain maps that had a boss on it. If they had an arena, you would go into the arena and it would seal the door, so you couldn't pull the boss out of the area and fight them in a more beneficial for you area, in a more opportune area. But the problem is if you hadn't killed all the other rares, when you kill the boss, it wouldn't open that gate back up. So you're kind of screwed as far as trying to get to the rest of the map. Now, one trick you could do is, this game's pretty good about when you log out, if you log back in, it puts you in either in town or in your hideout or something like that. And so if you were locked in that final boss room, you could quit out of the game, log back in, take a portal, and it would take you back to the entrance of the map. The unfortunate thing was if you were in the boss room and opened a portal in there, now you're screwed and there's no way to get back into your map and clear the rest of it. So you had to be really careful about getting into boss areas and getting locked into them. And the crappy thing is not every boss area that you got into that put up a gate would lock you in. It was only some of them. So you had to know exactly what map that was a problem in. Otherwise, you were just trying to avoid every single boss room in the game, and sometimes that's kind of hard to do. Hey, what's going on, Orford? Ah.
On with the work.
Arbiter, is that the one in that first big tower that you find? Is that the one where you have to get the 3 key pieces, or is the Arbiter one of the Citadel Guardians? Takes all 3 keys. That's cool. Yeah, I've heard where they set it up to where you could get the 6. You get all 6 lives, so you can take the portal in again. I've heard that has made that significantly easier than just 1 death and you're out. But I mean, honestly, at this point, your gear should be getting pretty strong, so you shouldn't really be having a whole lot of issues with it, anyways. That was looking fairly decent until I got that accuracy rating on there. Mana regen and accuracy are not really worth having on an item.
Until next time.
Died in 30 seconds? Yeah, that's a little lame. Did you get anything cool off the boss? Was there any neat loot that dropped off of it? Finish leveling boss atlas with it. Nice. Yeah, I haven't really been seeing too many bosses. Oh, you can only get the last 2 points from doing that? You can't get it any other way, or is that just the way it worked out for you? I kind of feel like it would have been a better system instead of having the bosses showing up as a, you know, like an icon that you do on the map. Instead of doing that, I think they should have just randomly assigned bosses to certain maps, to where it's like when you go in the map, it's just one of the rares was randomly a boss, instead of, you know, if you got to kill 5 rares, one of them is just randomly a boss, as opposed to having to have an icon marked on the atlas to indicating that there is a boss there. So I know a lot of people are kind of complaining, like when they were going through the concepts of some of this stuff that they were doing. I know Asmongold was bitching about that there needed to be bosses on every single map. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of like just killing a handful of rares and being done sometimes. You definitely get into a point to where some of the bosses are just really frustrating to deal with, and it's like, unless they're going to give you a random boss each time, having forced bosses on every single map, not a huge fan of. That never fails. You just run into one that's kind of designed to thwart the build that you're currently playing. So it's kind of interesting. Went out to dinner with some people from Nell's work, the hospital where she works at. We went out to dinner with them this past weekend, and I got to spend a little bit of a time talking to an aspiring novelist about story writing concepts, because of, you know, where I'm working on developing a game. So I actually got to speak with someone who is into story writing and developing characters, and, you know, has studied the art. So it was pretty interesting getting to spend a huge portion of the night kind of picking his brain on how to make the storyline a little better. Not directly, I don't think, Warford.
Wild beast.
It's like it's interesting. This class is a lot of fun to play, like just the way it is. I don't understand why this isn't the balance level that they're looking for in the game. You know, because this is fairly in the game at this point. You know, we're pretty deep into the in-game point. I would like to see more class build options that can clear through content in this fashion, especially for other classes. But sometimes I feel like a lot of the games that come out that are of this style don't necessarily, they claim that they want you to feel like you're powerful when you're in the game, but you don't ever get to really this level of power with the majority of builds. It's usually like 1 or 2 builds that can, you know, just blow through and clear stuff out, and then all the rest of them are just struggle busting it all the way to the end, if you can even make it to the end.
I must travel light.
So they started adding. Today is the first day that I've noticed this happening. I don't know if it's been a thing previously or not, but I've had it happen 3 times in 2 maps where I've gone up against a rare that has the big fire ring around them that, you know, kind of charges up and then explodes. And that NPC has also had some sort of a dash. And they'll start to explode and I'll roll away from them and they'll literally dash on top of me to try to kill me with the explosion. And it's like, if I just rolled, I can't instantly roll again.
I have no space for that.
So it's like that's a really stupid fucking mechanic. And I have not seen that previous to today. So hopefully more things like that don't become the norm and they do something about that happening, because it's like, what's the point in having a dodge to get away from an ability if you can't dodge and get away from the ability?
Garu Khan favors me.
It's like games need to have more skill built into them, like some sort of a skill level that you have to do things, and having stuff that just instantly follow you when you try to dash away from them. That's not, there's no skill that's going to improve that.
Wild beast.
It's like, it's one of those things that's actually kind of amusing, is people are talking about difficulty level in games all the time, and it's like one of the things that I'm trying to work on with difficulty for my game is increasing difficulty levels adds new creatures to the game that don't exist in any other difficulty level, that have mechanics that are more difficult to deal with. So it's not like, oh, you're just fighting the exact same creatures that have the exact same skills and they just hit you for a higher percentage of your health. It's like, now you kick up the difficulty level and there's just going to be a new enemy that you've literally never seen before, and he's going to be a little harder to deal with than the enemies that you have seen in lower difficulties. It's like, get some actual difficulty in the game and not the illusion of difficulty. It's like just having creatures that are just ever larger bullet sponges and hit you harder is not difficulty. It's like
I must travel light.
uh, 13 things left here. I don't even want to come back and pick this crap up, so I'm just gonna run away.
Yes. On with the work.
See, we still don't have the map tab. I was kind of hoping they would have gotten that out at some point while I was playing Conan Exiles.
Until next time.
But they did not. I'm gonna step away for just a second here while I grab some tea. All right, sorry about that. Hey, got a citadel off to the east over here. I can go and hit that up soon. These towers are a little bit more useful to do at this point. I'm definitely liking the new tile sets that they have for them. The old one was just not good at all. I'm glad that that was one of the top things that they kind of got on fixing really quickly.
Scum!
Gotta just have to start saving up divines at this point, I think. Most of the stuff that I'm interested in picking up gear-wise is going to be insanely expensive, like tens if not hundreds of div. And I keep, as a rule, I fall a little bit further behind, you know, because each week I'm off stream, like Saturday nights and my off stream nights I'm playing games other than this. But I'll be taking a pretty decent break from this game coming up fairly soon. We've got the new Monster Hunter game will be out end of next month, and I will definitely be switching over to that as my primary game to play. So I may be somewhat shot for getting anything amazingly good this season. But I mean, I feel like the class, you know, plays pretty well. I've done up as far as tier 18s with this particular build and didn't have a whole lot of problems with it. So I don't really foresee there being any major challenges changing in the game anytime in the near future. I need to go in and make a custom drop sounds for a lot of this stuff, like the drops for maps. Like, I would prefer that they just have a completely different sound than sounding like any of the other big things that drop. It's like, I want to know when a div orb drops. I don't want it sounding like a
I can feel it.
map. I guess it has a slightly different sound to it, but haven't done what yet? No. I do have a loot filter. I've had one since like the second day of playing. I tried to update the loot filter. Yeah, that's all part of the loot filter. I mean, the sounds are changed based on, you know, like maps, I don't think made any kind of sound in base game without having some sort of a filter on. Yeah, I tried to update mine to something a little more, I guess, lucrative for drops, but for whatever reason, it didn't take. I don't know what happened with it. I updated it exactly the same way that I installed it to begin with, and I just then, went and tried to get the newer version of it and get it updated. And I was going to, or I should say, I set the loot filter to be a lot more strict than what it had been, but for some reason when I told it to upload the loot filter, it just didn't do it. So I don't know what's up with that, but and then I keep forgetting to check that out. Any other 15s over there anywhere? Yeah. Like a bunch of random 15s hiding in the middle of all this other crap. Trying Arbiter again. Oh, there's different difficulty level settings to it. That's interesting. Maybe you'll get a better piece of loot. Yeah, I didn't realize it actually had different difficulties, so that's a little better at least. Because a 30-second kill on a pinnacle boss is pretty shitty. Oh, Atlas upgrades. Gotcha. Yeah, but I mean, just based off of Path of Exile 1, Pinnacle bosses, if you didn't have an absolute top tier character, you basically couldn't beat the bosses. So the fact that you can kill a Pinnacle boss in this version of the game in 30 seconds is pretty sad.
Victory is mine.
I still don't know what I think about the concept of people, or of all these NPCs being faster than you do. Sparks at 65k, that's nice. Yeah, I still don't have a level 20 gem, and then I haven't, I don't even know if I have, not only do I not have a level 20 gem, I don't even know if I have the 5th slot on my Spark. Hopefully they've kept it pretty similar on difficulty. I know with in the past, if you used a corrupted orb or like a Vol orb on skill gems, it was a pretty high chance to get a +1 level. I hope they haven't changed that, especially with as hard as it is to get these other items to drop. Because it's like it was a pretty high chance of getting it. And skill gems back in the day, it was just all about getting experience. Like you didn't have to have, like the number of slots was tied to the piece of gear, so it really wasn't a huge negative to, to have a failure on a skill gem because you just level up a bunch of them at the same time. Now there's a huge level of loss if you try to corrupt a skill gem and you don't get it. Like it's a massive negative at this point. kind of wish this game had something similar to. I know a lot of people are not big fans of Diablo, but there are some aspects of Diablo that I think are really fun. And I always thought that the loot goblins were a really cool concept, like something that moves really fast that will escape from the map if you don't take it out, and trying to chase those things around and kill them. I always thought that was a pretty fun thing. And they kind of had it with the spirits in Path of Exile 1, but the loot that dropped on the spirits was always just super shitty. And it's like, I want to. It's like if you're gonna have loot goblins, they actually need to drop good loot. Like they should drop something decent every time. Like in this game, a loot goblin should pretty much always drop an exalted orb. Back in the day, those spirits that you would do in Path of Exile 1 should have always dropped a chaos orb, something like that. Giving you something that you really want that makes you want to go get them. And then they also have the chance of dropping some really awesome piece of gear or something like that, just a slightly higher roll than other creatures. I also really liked in Diablo 3, I think it was, they had a special type of loot goblin where you could go and oh nice, you got him. That's good. It's good that it was harder too. Like I like to see that. I don't want things to be a face roll. But the loot goblins in Diablo 3 had a thing where you could actually go through one of their portals and go into like the loot goblin world and then go fight the loot goblin king. And that was a really neat concept. I never got to play that. I just got to watch videos of it and stuff. But it was a really, really neat sounding system. And I was a little disappointed when they didn't have anything like that in Diablo 4, since I didn't really play much Diablo 3. I got bored of that one super fast. To be fair, I got bored of Diablo 4 pretty fast too. It just happened to come out at a time where there was nothing else worth playing. If Path of Exile 2 would have been out, I don't even know if I would have played Diablo 4. Oh, you got the Invictus from there? Nice. Time to chaos it and see if you can get a 5th slot on it. Was it a good roll? Oh, actually the spirit's kind of nice. 10 spirit per socketed rune. I mean, that's 40 spirit right there. Oh wow, yeah, it is a perfect roll.
You are nothing.
Go and remove those spirit gems from my sale tab. It's like those are pretty rare for when you're wanting to play different characters and stuff. Like I still don't think I've gotten a level 19 spirit gem to drop yet. All the time that I've been doing these 13 plus maps. I really wish they would fix this graphical bug where you can't see your lightning. That gets really annoying. It's like you're casting and the stuff is definitely getting hit by it, you just can't see it.
Sans, take you. There is power in this object.
What'd you get?
I can feel it.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty nice. I wonder how that compares to the one I have. I wish I could. I'm annoyed that shift won't work here. I can't just like look at the item. Oh yeah, spell physical damage, that's garbage. The 31% increased energy isn't that impressive also without having the plus set to energy shield, but the 200 mana is really good, and the cast speed is phenomenal, and then having resists would be really good as well. But yeah. I still don't know if I'm even high enough level to use level 20 gems, but I guess that's probably what I'll start spending my div on at this point, is just picking up level 20 gems and trying to corrupt a 21. Because adding 2 levels onto my spark damage would be pretty nice right about now. Yeah, I need to start looking into like fine-tuning my damage, because I think the damage on mine is pretty low still. Yeah, my spark is only 28.5 on damage right now. So I'm still 4K away from what your old one was.
Return to death!
Like, you don't leave maps for less than that? Yeah. Yeah, if you can get a huge string of level 15 maps where you're just constantly running high tier maps all the time, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I haven't gotten to the point yet of seeing these insane level or tier 15 maps dropping. I'm still,
I must travel light.
the majority of the tier 15s that I have in my stash right now are from my other characters, so once I start getting a higher percentage of high-end maps, I probably will do something similar.
I must travel light.
Getting a lot of exalted orbs
treasure.
out of here. It's nice. It's funny now that Inauguration Day is hit and everybody is talking about all the Trump stuff now. The drama over pirate radio has kind of died like really quickly. I kind of figured it would. I feel like the reason that the pirate radio drama got so insane was just because there was nothing else to talk about at the time. It's like it was just such a stupid, like whiny little bitchy thing for people to whine about. But unfortunately, that has kind of destroyed my the retention off of, or not retention, but the discovery of the video that I had. I got a whole lot of new people discovering my page because of that video. So I think I pointed this out already, but
Time
they,
is not on our
at least
side.
when the developer was talking, they didn't have a whole lot specifically to say about an auction house system, but they didn't flat out say no. So
Yes.
there is still
Yes.
at least discussing it internally.
On with the work.
Let's see. I'm gonna go in here and pull these spirit gems that are in here out. So I will definitely use these on a different character. I got a bunch of 17s. I may just leave those in there.
Hello. Time is not on our side.
I kind of wish with the stash tab for skill gems, I wish they had a limit per level and not just a 500, like all gem limit. Because there's a lot of these skill gems that I have almost none of. Can't remember if I actually have any more level 19s that I need to pick up or not. Doesn't look like it. Nah. Let's see what I have for jeweler's orbs. I only have the small ones right now. I don't even have the middle of the road ones. I think the big ones are still going for quite a bit. Alright, so the level 19 one that I have is actually all 5, so I could go ahead and upgrade that if I can even get 20s. Or if I can even learn them right now. I don't know what level. I think 84 was what I had to be in order to do 19s. So 20 is maybe a little while off still. Let's see what they're actually going for. Item level 20. What do we got? Oh wow, they're only going. Oh, never mind. Another moron up here with them, with it up for 1 exalted, listed a minute ago. It's like, yeah, that's gonna, like that's actually gonna sell. I actually find it really frustrating the number of people that will put these things up for some number of exalted orbs. Like I would almost rather them just stick at the price of 1 div, because having just 115 exalted orbs laying around isn't necessarily something that a lot of people have. Like even if you have a lot of div, it doesn't mean you have a shit ton of exalted orbs. And I don't want to break a div into exalts, because the exalts just keep dropping in value. So it's like I really hate it when I go to buy something and it's like, oh, I want 115 exalts. It's like, I would almost rather just go pay the 1 div. As dumb as that may sound. Yeah, this one's got a boss in it. Got 1 tower there. Let's see, do I have any decent irradiated precursors? There we go. 9 maps in range. What's the chance of popping that boss map with that? Oh, slim to none, apparently. For shame. Look at all those. All those corrupted maps. I don't think I can... Yeah, I can't put anything else in here. However, I can go down and hit this tower here and see if I can't irradiate again, since a bunch of these got irradiated already. Good chance that I might get one of these. I think I'll hit that map instead. Okay, I want to start trying to do some more. Hey, Warfern, have you actually managed to get a level 20 gem to drop yet? Nope. Yeah. I don't think I've actually spoken to anyone that's gotten one to drop.
I will cleanse this disgusting place. Will open Marrakech. Victory is mine.
Oh, hey.
A rare treasure.
Got a sapphire to drop. I don't get to see many of those. Maybe I can get something good to roll on that. It's also another thing to think about. I probably should spend a little bit of time trying to get some more sapphires, just like even buying low-end ones and trying to roll them, because I still have like I think 3 empty spots where sapphires could go, but I literally just don't have anything that's any sort of a buff to go in them. Hunting shoes. I don't think I've seen those yet. Always fun hearing those uniques drop, but truth be told, it's usually pretty anticlimactic what you're getting. small orbs are dropping a lot compared to usual. Warframe, have you tried to work any more magic find or like into your gear yet, or are you still running pretty much just full damage? I actually wonder if they're planning on leaving Magic Find as potent as it is currently. %105%, yeah.
By Garukan!
I'm actually not sure if I have any currently. Does it actually show you that on your stats page somewhere? I'm sure it's like the others. If you don't have any, then it doesn't show anything. But... Oh, would it tell on here? I don't have anything on here, so... Yeah.
Victory is mine.
Yeah, if my choices are really good stats or magic find, I always go with the good stats, and I've just anytime I've been upgrading, it's always a nasty trade-off to try to get the magic find on there. It's like it's not even a fact of them being too expensive. It's just like they straight up don't exist for the items that I'm looking for. Like people just aren't selling them. So I haven't had a whole lot of luck with that.
Go on.
+1 to maximum power charges, huh? That potentially could be good.
Time is not on our side.
Increased critical hit chance for spells, that's nice. Offerings have increased maximum life, that's less nice. %12 increased critical damage bonus, that's good. And 9% increased chaos damage. I guess I'll socket it in just for the crit chance and the crit damage, but it's a fairly crappy item. Let's see. Was I going for a tower here? Yeah.
Go on.
forever to get in this map. I don't know if I've actually done the rooftop version of the tower yet. I think all the ones that I have gotten have been the newer iterations, not just the rooftop alternate. I don't want a ruby, I want a sapphire. That's what they need, is a way to turn rubies and emeralds into sapphires. Like some sort of conversion ratio or something.
Didn't break a sweat.
It's actually kind of funny. I usually wonder how many games do this sort of thing, but I was watching a video by Timothy Kane not too awful long ago, and he was talking about his entertainment value of developing games and having it so that your character's name plays a part in your random number generator for getting loot to drop. Personally, I find that to be a pretty horrendous thing, but it has definitely been something that has showed up in a lot of games in history. But it's like anytime you have a random number generator that is based off of a constant, it is far less random than it should be.
There is power in this object. I can feel it. Sam, take you!
But I kind of wonder if Path of Exile uses any system like that. I know Phantasy Star Online back in the day used to do it, and a lot of the games that Timothy Kane worked on has used them just because he likes the concept of the way that you name your character having something to do with how you get the loot, which in theory is an interesting play, but I don't know, knowing that I have a a shitty chance at getting gear based on a character name that never changes, it's like, so yeah, as long as you have that character, then you're always going to have a shittier loot chance than somebody else that has a different character. Not to mention the fact that most people, like I know with I don't know about Timothy Kane's games because I've only played his Fallout stuff. I've never played like Temple of Elemental Evil or most of the other games that he has worked on. But I know with Phantasy Star Online, people figured out the system for what the values were for each letter in a name so that they could determine the exact type of loot that they wanted to get based off of their name. And I mean, when you can do that, it's just completely broken, especially considering the fact that they gave a value to null space. So a lot of the times the way that you improve your loot is just by adding blank spaces to the end of your name, and those would count as modifiers. And with the one in Phantasy Star Online, I forget what the exact number was, if it reset like every 10 or every 16 or something like that, but there was essentially X different types of loot tables that you could get, and depending on the arbitrary values that they assigned to each letter, they would take those values and add them together. And like I said, I can't remember if it was on a hexadecimal system, so it was resetting like every 16 every 16 iterations, so you always had a value between 0 and 15, or if it was based off of a base 10 system. I don't actually remember on that part of it, but essentially we'll just say it's a base 16, so you would go 0 to 15, and when you hit 15, if you added more points to it again, it would circle back to 0 and count up through 15 again, just over and over and over. And then whatever your final number was, that was the loot table that you got, and it was permanent. There was no changing it. And this would actually, in Phantasy Star, it was really frustrating because that was the game that you could play online, and you could also play offline in solo, and you could do couch co-op and stuff as well. And everybody got their own unique loot. So when you killed stuff, different loot would drop for, you know, each person. And the loot tables that you got would just flat out omit certain types of items. So if you wanted to, the new video is regarding DEI in video games. Going for more controversy. We're going all in. But with Phantasy Star Online, if you wanted to do something like use the twin-bladed slashers, if that was the build that you were going for, it was possible to get a loot table where those didn't drop. So if you wanted to play twin-bladed slashers, the only way you could get slashers was by trading with other people. So you either had to play in a couch co-op game or online with friends, so that when they got slashers, they would give them to you because they weren't using them, because they wanted some other item. And it was just such a horrible game system to, when you think about it, to go like, oh well, I will never get the items that I want because they're just banned from my loot table. So it's like, I want to play with these specific weapons, but they will literally never drop for me. So yeah, it's that feeling of having your loot tied to your name somehow is just like a really, really kind of a cringe system in my opinion. I know with a lot of Kane's games, he made them more like modifiers to rolls and stuff like that, so you wouldn't necessarily completely omit a type of gear that you would just never get, but it would, in some of the games that he did, it would change your, essentially your luck factor as far as the game goes, so you would just, as a rule, get worse gear than other people that were playing that had a different name.
Die harder!
I didn't think I actually got up here and hit the switch, but I guess I did. Or did I actually hit it? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I think I had actually hit the switch. I guess I could have easily seen that by just checking whether or not the map was complete, but whatever, it's done now.
What is it?
Get rid of that 10.
On
There's
with
no
you.
point even carrying that. Increased area of effect isn't bad. Increased chance to ignite. I don't know. Are there any ignite builds out there? Is ignite really a big build? Gain 3 rage when hit by an enemy. Now that is probably going to be pretty nice. I definitely know there's a lot of rage builds out there. Huh. Yeah, having all 3 of these stats, baseline's 1 exalt, but it goes up to a divine. That's actually not a terrible item. Oh, increased armor. That's unfortunate. I don't think that's going to be anywhere near as good. Yeah. 3 exalts or a divine, and the divine is question mark. So I forget what the question mark means in this program. It's either negotiable or is it really worth a divine because it's not selling. There's not enough data. Not sure what direction that's going, but best offer. Okay. Yeah, I'll throw this one up for a div. I don't know. Maybe I'll. You know, let's just all or nothing. So I didn't get any negatives to it. It corrupted it a good way, but it added 9 int. So I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say that, like, that's horrible for this particular type of gem because that's not going to be a main stat for anyone wanting these other stats on here. Int's not a main stat, but to get 9 int for free, that may cause you to be able to wear a piece of gear that you wouldn't normally be able to wear. That might actually be beneficial. Probably gonna be none up here with all that stuff together. So let's drop the armor. No. Drop the ignite. There you go. 20 exalted is the cheapest one with the 3 other stats. So increased armor is definitely not a negative. Because I'm sure if you're using rubies, you're probably doing some sort of an armor build, especially with rage generation. I just don't know how useful ignite is, to be honest, but we'll throw it up for a div and see what happens.
Hello. I'll be here. Wait. Yes. Time is not on our side.
So yeah, need a new irradiated precursor. 10 maps are irradiated. Let's try that one. Do I have any bigger ones? Is 10 the cap? I thought I had seen one that was higher than 10 once. Starting to feel like 10 is the cap. Alright, so I want a bunch of these red ones here to get some irradiated on them. We'll see what happens. One got it. Sucks. I got another one up here too, though. Is that? I don't know if that's within the range or not. But hey, we'll take it. Yeah, that one's got a bunch of stuff on it. Getting some more breaches would be pretty nice too. Let's see, is there any connection here? It looks like that's Looks like going this way is potentially a bad idea because there's no connection in this direction. I may have to go south here and just go through some of this stuff. Yeah, let's hit this map, see what we get. %, increased rarity. Not bad for somebody that has none.
A ghastly swamp.
Man, it's crazy to think that it's already almost back to raid night for a while. Kind of getting to the point where I'm getting a little tired of having to show up for the raid in WoW. It's like,
Didn't break a sweat.
I don't know, when you're playing a game that just has zero challenge to it, I don't know, it's just not, it's not doing it for me. I'm looking forward to getting to the end of this content so I can just be like, all right, I think I'm done. We'll finish up AQ and got Nax and whatever that other expansion thing is that's coming out pretty soon, and then I think I'm going to be out. We'll see how the difficulty is for Nax, see if it sparks an interest again. It's sounding like they're trying to put a little bit of extra difficulty into it. But we'll see. But yeah, that's coming up here in like, I don't know, another week or so. That unfortunately means I'll have a couple of streams of going through the grinding of the new content hitting, so that I'll be prepared for the raid content when it's fully launched.
A rare
But I think
treasure.
it's like the first week of February is when the new raid content's out, so it'll probably be that week. I'll
Didn't
just
break
put
a
in a bunch
sweat.
of time into WoW and kind of knock out all the dungeon run stuff that I need to get done. Tier 4 siphoning one. Why does that line have anything good in it? Why is my lightning not destroying these pots? What the hell? Map with a bunch of bridges in it, and then it's the majority of the enemies are freaking mosquitoes. That's a lot of grenades.
Die, scum!
Oh. Got an arena here, so I'm gonna go around and clear the rest of the area, make sure I don't get screwed into being locked in there. There's a lot of bosses kind of all in a row there.
A rare treasure.
Or, well, not bosses, but rares. Wow, 2 of all orbs and 4 exalteds out of this run, just from drops so far. It's pretty crazy. And another boss here. Or rare.
Die,
Whatever.
forgotten.
You know what I mean.
for one.
I need something that goes plus sapphire drops. I wish it would stop giving me these unique boots. It's like that's the worst. Seems like the worst possible unique you could get, because most people don't want boots unless they have a lot of movement speed on them. And it's like most of these don't.
Garukan favors me.
Huh. Wonder what happens. See, I still haven't figured out if having a higher tier item also affects what enchants you can put on it. So if you're crafting a piece of gear, does it abide by the same restrictions that the standard stuff is placed on it when it drops? And if so, if you annul that item, does it still remain to be the tiered version of the item? So it's like a tier 2 ring. If I annul that ring, does it still stay tier 2? And if so, if I chance orb that and turn it into that really nice unique gold ring, will that cause, like, guarantee that some of those rolls won't be negatives?
Victory is mine.
Tier 15 map. I'll take it. Yeah, two more rares. This has been a crazy map for rares. There's been like 6 of them or something. 7. No, for rare creatures. Although it looks like I've already got my doubled one, which means I probably won't be getting the doubled boss, because I think you only, I think that bonus only gives you 1 double per map. But for all intents and purposes, this map is now cleared.
Sleep and I in Mega
Jesus.
is hell.
I didn't remember this boss for a moment. I was like, holy shit.
I get stunned.
Oh, there's a 14 and a 15, so I got 2 15s out of that one. That's not bad. And I think this was only a 14 map, so I got 1 or 2 14s out of it as well. And yeah, looks like they've this one didn't keep me trapped in the boss room, so that's a plus. So maybe they have actually fixed it, or this is just one of the random maps that it didn't affect to begin with.
Yes.
Enfolding Dawn. Seems like I sold that previously for a decent amount. increase cast speed, critical damage bonus, increase mana, and spell damage. It's like if I could get plus to lightning skills or plus to minion skills, either one. Lightning skills would be better, but... Oh, actually that's only 4. Because that spell damage and mana is a single prefix. Huh. That one could be a good one to roll. This one already has cold damage increase on it, which is basically worthless. However, extra fire damage and extra cold damage, those actually aren't too bad, because that will give you the cold damage that the cold damage increase would pop up there. So at 25% extra cold damage, assuming that the 56% chance will proc on that cold damage, then that would put you at what, like 37.5% of your base damage would then be cold damage, which that's not a bad increase. And it still has room for 2 more things to roll on it, so could be good if it got plus to anything. Adult is trash. Gamble sprint. People are buying that, but it's like a one exalt thing. Yeah, that's actually an alright roll.
I'll be here. Wait.
52% mana regen on there now. Oh, 21 in. Garbage. Also garbage. Damn it. Well, I got 5 Exalteds out of that run, and I just wasted 4 upgrading worthless items. 70% increased fire damage on this thing, though. It's too bad there's no fire builds out there that are worth a damn. Well, 33% lightning resistance, 14% cast speed, 176 mana. That's not terrible for a ring. 16 strength is good for being able to wear gear or certain support gems. Yeah. What is that? That's a tier 12 mana. So yeah, that one's actually probably worth trying to sell. Might actually go somewhere. So try to sell it as is, or slam it with a Chaos Orb and try to get rid of accuracy and evasion. Or evasion, I should say. Let's do it. I don't ever use Chaos Orbs. Nope. Got rid of the mana and gave me life. Fucking go figure.
Yes.
Yeah, that's trash. It's like literally the only stat that I wanted on there is the one that it got rid of. That's why I don't like Chaos Orbs in general, because they always do that sort of thing. It's like the thing that you want the most is 99% of the time what it strips away. And it's like, it's almost never worth it to Chaos Orb. Like I don't understand why people even want to fool with it.
What is it?
That is one of the things that I did like better about the Diablo system, was when you used abilities like that. It's like, well, here's the new roll. Do you want to keep it, or do you want to keep your old roll? And it's like, I would be a lot more behind Chaos Orbs if it didn't just completely fuck your item. Because 99% of the time it feels like it's going to completely fuck the item, and then the 1% of the time that it actually doesn't get rid of the thing you want, it doesn't turn it into like a million div item. It's like it may not even increase the price at all. So it's like it almost always takes away the best thing on the piece of gear, but it basically never adds the best thing to a piece of gear. So it's like the chances on it are just ridiculous. It's like it's essentially just like gambling. I personally would rather just sell the chaos orbs and have guaranteed currency that I can get something I want. It's like the numbers are always way too low.
What do you think?
Oh wow, I didn't realize this one had... Oh yeah, actually I think I remember this. It's not a terrible item, but probably doesn't have much of a value anymore. Guarantee that neither of these will probably sell. We shall see. Kick all these spirit gems to 2 exalted apiece. See if people are still wanting to buy them. If they do, I'll dump them for that price. Alright, we're moving across. Okay, so that's one I want a tier 16 on. Do I have a 16 ready to go? I do. Maybe we'll get a quick level out of this as well, assuming I don't get splattered instantly for some reason. I've done a tier 16, or technically this will be a T18. I haven't done one of these in a while on this character. Oh, it's kind of a shitty map too. Should have thought about that.
Strange creation.
What is up with this dude? Oh, there we go. Just had some kind of shield on him or something. He was not dying. He went from health not moving to just dead in like half a second.
I can feel it. Victory is mine.
Oh, hey. Wow, that level came fast. These guys are worth a buttload of XP. Guess I'm in the bottom of the map somewhere.
Garukan!
I'm assuming they still haven't fixed these levers where you can get off of them. And these tiny little hallways are really bad for archmages. Oh, there must be a boss up here or something. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Didn't break a sweat.
So it kept respawning that one minion over and over. So they did not fix rares being able to res from off screen. That thing was forever away and was still resing. Like, they need to fix that shit. That's really annoying. Well, the problem is the lightning doesn't like to go through the doorways. Like, if you stand at the doorway and shoot, the majority of your lightning doesn't go through the doorway, and the further away you are, the less lightning will go through it. It's like if you're in a tiny hallway and you are casting lightning, then it's not that big of a deal. Like, it bounces really well inside of the hallway.
You are nothing.
But enemies frequently don't want to go through doorways, and then the lightning doesn't either. So if you don't step through the doorway, then your lightning doesn't really want to go through it either. But then when you do step through the doorway, you have a very high chance of being deleted. They have really bad pathing problems with doorways for some reason, and I don't understand why, because it really wasn't a problem in Path of Exile 1, so you would think they had that figured out already. But it's like where this isn't a doorway, they go through this just fine. It's just those doorways. But it's, yeah, like being in this little room, this is like a kill zone. Nothing will survive walking through that shit. It's just highly concentrated electricity, but almost none of it's making it out of the room.
A rare treasure.
Well, 19 skill gem. Don't see many of those. To be fair though, I think anything less than a 19 dropping in a tier 18 map is pathetic. I really think they need to make those tier 20 spell gems drop just a little more regularly. It doesn't have to be an insanely regular amount, but yeah, if they even have a spin to win build. I don't even know if they have any good spin to win builds in this game. I think the character that would be the best spin to win type would be like a warrior. And for the most part, people are very unhappy with warrior, the state of warrior in the game right now. Are those little dudes beating on me? I didn't even see them. Probably should have hit those other two switches while I was back on the other side of the zone, but whatever.
There is power in this object. I can feel it. Die, scum!
Close to being cleared in the map at this point. 36 creatures left. Now I'm just gonna run around and open these stupid switches that I didn't hit the last time around. And see, it would be really nice if they put teleporters at each of the switches. So if on the off chance that you like miss the switch, you just teleport back to it. One more level will get me a large upgrade on damage, and then that's probably going to be pretty much it from high damage output from talent points. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. I think I've gotten about half a level from this dungeon.
Break a sweat. A rare treasure.
Yeah. No fat loot from this one, unfortunately. Need to get some ones with breaches or mirrors or something like that, or with I guess technically some of the enchants from those places. Getting a little guaranteed delirium on the map would be pretty nice. Did you buy the breach stones, or have you assembled 900 shards?
Yes?
Wow, assembled 900 shards? That's pretty nuts.
It's not on our side.
Oh, 100% of cold damage converted to lightning damage. That's nice. Really? Can't even tell me what a single... 6 of 8 breach atlas points, that's nice. How do you feel about breach being less enemies than it used to be? Does it feel more doable now, or?
Yes.
I don't know how it makes, how much of a difference it makes on the higher end ones. Yeah, that's kind of what I was curious about, is if the top end ones still felt pretty empty or how that was going. Oh man, guess I'll go down and do this one and see if I can't pop some more irradiated on that stuff. Nice little line of 15s now. Maybe I'll look out and get 1 or 2 corrupted to 16 from that. Well, that one's already corrupted, so it's not going up any. So is this one. I just don't know if I want to use a good map on a tower. I still don't feel like towers have enough enemies in them, like the maps aren't big enough. You do 14, yeah, always doing lower ranks on towers, yeah. Kind of about how I feel with it right now. I don't want to use good maps on a tower. It's like some of these, like this one here, like I really like this tower because it's very linear. And, you know, so you're just like always moving forward. I really like that style of gameplay and not having to double back and all that kind of shit all the time. But it also seems like it has a much smaller collection of enemies than the other maps that are a little more open. Man, sticking these stupid little sniper things in every choke point that the thing has is not a lot of fun. Oh, sapphire, that's good.
A rare treasure. Power. I don't remember what level that I actually have.
definitely feel like the precursor tablets are dropping a lot more frequently, which is nice. Creatures remaining. Yeah, that's just too tiny. Not enough enemies in them. What was this? 8. Come on, get in the fucking stash.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, I've got an 18 sigil. So yeah, this one's irrelevant. Wow, +4 to fire skills. Fire spell skills.
Hello.
Too bad, that's worthless. It's like, it's got a lot of really nice stats on it. If that was just lightning instead of fire, that'd probably be a decent item. Although I think this is this two-handed? I don't know if that's two-handed or not. Yeah, that was a two-handed staff anyway, so not as good. No wonder it looked nice. Recover 1% of mana on kill. Damage penetrates 10% cold resist, which is worthless, and 10% minion accuracy, which is worthless. %5 of maximum energy shield as additional stun threshold. Now that's decent. So it's like the top one and the bottom one's nice to have, but oh, that actually just got pretty good. I went ahead and chaosed that out, and I got 43% increased energy shield from equipped focus. Oh, it's unfortunate. This focus has got shit for energy shield. 14% increased mana regen rate. That's not bad. Switch the cold damage. No, that didn't switch the cold damage out. That was a bad roll. Triggered spells deal 11% increased spell damage. Now that would be really good. That would be a nice item for when I switch to cast on shock. That would increase the damage of arc. That's actually not too bad. I may hold on to that one. Yeah, doing these things, you can't be saved from the raid, Matiste. You've had multiple chances to not be involved with it anymore, and you keep going back. This is self-inflicted at this point. There's no help for you. Ah. Save you anyways. There we go. Yeah, the definition of insane is just Matiste's picture. This is Wednesday night. Are you guys in Blackwing Lair, I guess? precursor. Go. Radiated maps, 9 of them, that's good enough. 14% quantity found in maps too. Yeah, like those would be great for some tier 18s. Oh yeah. So 15% increased number of rare monsters. Rare monsters have a 54% chance to have an additional modifier. 14% increased quantity of items and 19% increased rarity. And that's just from precursor tablet bonuses. That's really nice. You just got a bunch of pugs in there again, Matisti? Is that what's going on? Just stop signing up for the Wednesday raids. Like, that's really all you got to do.
Fall before me. Die, forgotten.
Matisi's still building a castle in Minecraft. He doesn't have time to build Conan castles. Never-ending project yet. That's what you should do, Matisi. Just tell Bloody that you're gonna have to stop signing up for Wednesday raids. That you need to finish your castle, and whenever it gets finished, you'll come back to raiding on Wednesdays. Have you been keeping up with the launch stuff at all, Matisti? I know they've got, I guess they made the official announcement for launch date for Nax. I know Bloody was talking about trying to do a lot of runs for Karazhan Crypts. So what exactly is going on with Karazhan Crypts? Like, it's kind of sounding like you're going to need to do Karazhan Crypts in order to get access to something else,
Victory is mine.
like some other kind of gear, some sort of resist gear or something like that for doing Nax. Like, I don't really understand what exactly it is that is the driving force behind doing Karazhan Crypts.
Garu Khan favors me.
Oh, something that causes your damage to get insane? Yeah, I guess I'll probably have to do that, or I won't be able to hold threat worth a shit anymore. I wonder if that's where they're going to put the thing that there is supposedly some item or something that you're going to be able to get that allows you to pick a set bonus from a previous tier. I wonder if that's where those things are going to drop. It would make sense if that was the case, but I'm not sure. Now, of course, it's a fucking dead end.
Die once more. Victory is mine.
Hey, there's the breach. almost completely nuked that dude from off screen. I didn't even know he was there. Basically dead once he got onto the screen. Yeah, I'll probably jump in and bullshit with Bloody some after that raid's over. See if I can figure out exactly what's going on and what I'm going to get myself into for this. Random breach ring. Hell yeah. Man, there's not very many fists here.
Didn't break a sweat.
Well, that wasn't a bad breach there. You have to circle around a lot, pick up a whole lot of shit.
A rare treasure.
Oh, you fucking desert runes. Piss off. Oh, Zoph's Catalyst. I don't remember what that does. Fire modifiers on a ring or amulet. Replaces other quality types. Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey Warfern, did you ever get one of those unique diamonds yet? $22 div? Jesus. Yeah, that might be what I have to save for. think I have like 5 or 6 div right now, something along those lines. Do I have get 2? No, I think there was a second one somewhere. Let's go run that area again real quick and make sure I didn't leave anything.
Will of the Mareke!
Did you figure out a decent way to search for one yet? Yeah, I wonder if they improved it, because I wasn't getting them to show the abilities on it. Like when I would try to search for the abilities that I needed weren't listed as a search criteria. So maybe they got the site updated a little bit. It's so weird. I could have sworn there was another breach ring in here, but I don't see it.
Yes.
Infinite Pursuit. Wow, that's 35% movement speed when you have an ailment on you. Fortunately, it's pretty crappy rolls, but that might actually be a decent item. Or maybe not. It's Ziri's Disdain. At least they still reference the name in here. Oh, +3 to minion skills, and 14 to 28% attack damage, and 56% increased mana regen. That's a decent starting stick. Really, really, really needs spirit on it though. Lightning damage. Allies have 112 accuracy. That's actually not bad. Allies and presence have 112% to accuracy rating is actually pretty decent. Because your allies need accuracy. You don't in that build, but... So this is a good time to use a Chaos Orb. It only has one ability on it, and I don't want it. Oh wait, it has to do it with a rare item. Fuck. Miss Whisper Makeshift Crossbow. Attacks chain 2 additional times. Holy crap. That actually could be nice. I don't know if this thing will sell or not, but we'll throw it up there and see. It's not bad stats. It just doesn't have the spirit on it, which is always a negative in my opinion. Where did I put those breach rings? Oh, there. Yeah. Yeah, if they don't have mana, they're really not worth having, so... Wait. Oh, probably because one of them is not magic. Or not rare. So stupid. That's garbage.
What is it?
24 div, you said? Yeah, that's a lot.
Go.
Oh, wow. So, Breach Ring with 3 resists on it. Huh, that may not actually be too bad. Hold on to that one for a little bit.
Greetings. Yes. Time is not on our side.
So what were you using for a search criteria to find those? Look for notable version. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't have that as an option when searching for mine. Like if I do spirit, this is all I get. Yeah, I get the explicits. There's an implicit, 2 enchants, and a rune, and that's it. This is a diamond. This is a time lost diamond. Are you looking? Is there a different time lost? Oh, interesting. I wonder what the difference is. Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm just not getting a notable on here for mine. I don't know what it is you're doing differently to see it on yours, but it makes it very difficult to to find these damn things when you can't put in the correct modifiers to find them. Nope. PoE2 standard. I don't think so. I mean, it's Path of Exile 2 icon up here. It's the exact same page that I've been using to search everything else, and it all shows up fine. Yeah, I see it. Notable does not even show up in here. If I type in notable, literally nothing shows up. It's also funny when I type in spirit. Oh no, explicit does show up. But yeah, notable does not show up in here either. Let's see. Spell damage, skills. Right, you have no spirit. Spirit per socketed grand. Huh. I don't have the last two. So out of all the stuff in your list for explicit, I have all of them except for the last two. Those two don't show up at all. Yeah, it's really weird. So There's 1 to plus levels of all Raging Spirit skills. That doesn't show up on here, and notable passives don't show up on here. That's really weird. I wonder if maybe the page is outdated. Maybe they've updated it since. Okay, so now it says this. Okay, there we go. $21 Divine looks like. And those aren't even the good ones. Oh, Jesus. The good ones are going to be insanely expensive. I still want to know where these things drop from. I feel like I'd have a better chance of just trying to farm one. I mean, look at this. We're at 30 div now, and it's still not even a good one. Jesus, this is going to be nuts. I mean, 10 Spirit is good, but the other stat is completely worthless. You need the 1% mana on the other for the second stat. For the minor, the small passive skills. I haven't even seen one that has the mana on it. I think the 1% is the only thing you can get. I don't think there's a 2%. So here's one with 1% increased maximum life per small passive and radius. Yeah, it should give it. Well, I don't know if it'll give 60 or not. It probably will with 10 each. So I'm assuming you're trying to get cast on shock. Another max life. Max lives are getting more common, but they're 34 div. I wonder if I can get small passives to show up in the search now. Just get straight to the meat of what we need here. Maximum mana. Boom, 50 div for the cheapest one. 50 div. The next cheapest is 128 div. And the 50 div is AFK. Guarantee that fucker is not selling that. The jewel comes from Arbiter. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, there's only what? 5 of these up for sale. 50, 128 div, 130 div, 330 div, 400 div. And yeah, and this one's busted right here. This dude corrupted this and got an insane corrupt on it. It corrupted for more spirit because the max roll on spirit's 12, but he's got a plus 15. I think the only way this could be better is if it was flopped and you somehow got a extra % on mana. That would just break this. No, that's good. 10% increased jewel drop. Yeah, that's insanely expensive though. That's ridiculous. I knew they would be expensive, but I mean that's just nuts. This guy might actually sell this 50 for 50 div because he got the lowest possible roll you can get for spirit. I don't even know if that's enough to do what we need to do. So it's like I don't even know if he could get 50 div out of that, to be honest. I would have to double check and see exactly how it fits in. Wait, what happened here? Wait, that's the wrong build. That's why. Yeah, there's that. So I don't know if this notable here that's halfway in and half out counts, but for the ones that definitely count, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So looks like 11 for sure and 12 if these ones that are half in count. So I mean 12 times 10 would be an extra 120 spirit from that gem. So you would be able to get both blink and cast on shock. It doesn't specifically say anything about ones you own, and in what is it? If it's only the ones that you own, then you would only get 30 out of it, which would not be enough to do anything. And honestly, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You probably, if that is the case, actually I don't know, because this one here is probably too far away to get those. Yeah, it might be. It might only be ones you purchased. These gems in the first one would give it to you just based on the number of those that were in the area, whether you owned them or not. But I can't remember if those specifically said unpurchased. But yeah, I mean, if you're only getting 3, I don't even think you have enough to make this work. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you when you mouse over it, like, because of the way that this website works, it doesn't tell you how many you're going to get. See, what does it say specifically? It doesn't say specifically at all. And let's see. The gem itself also doesn't say specifically. But yeah, I mean, it could go either way, because you're definitely going to get 3 in here. I'm kind of feeling like that if you place the gem up here, you would probably still get 3 in range, but you would have less minor ones. Yeah, you're right. Reddit probably has asked. I just don't know if that's as beneficial of a, like, I think that price is insane if it doesn't give all of it to you. Having a rough night, Matisti. That's why WoW sucks and you should play a real game like Path of Exile 2. But yeah, probably, I don't know. I'll have to go and search on that Orphan and see what I find out. Because yeah, if it's only doing the ones that you put on it, what was the cast on shock skill? What did it require? Oh, these are in like alphabetical, aren't they? No? Oh, there it is. Yeah, cast on shock requires 60 spirit to equip. Yeah. So it's like even the plus 15 one, which you can only get with a corruption, would not be enough to let you cast this ability, which means you would have to have a different outfit that you would have to be getting spirit from somewhere else, and I don't know where you would get that from. Oh, this guy just recently did an update on the 20th, so like 2 days ago, finally it updated this build. I wonder if he's switched out some of the gear to show something different. He's still not doing spirit on a chest piece, so. Jesus, that is an amazing roll for a staff or a wand. 132% spell damage, 45% increased lightning damage, and 22% cast speed, and +4 to all level of skills. That's nuts. Still not even corrupted. He could corrupt that. I'm sure he's like scared shitless to do so. He is still wearing the midnight braid though. He didn't switch off of, even to this point, he's still not switching off of that. I wonder if this guy streams at all. Like, I'd love to get in his stream and just ask him some questions, but so it looks like he might stream. Oh, he streams like early in the day. He starts at like 10 a.m. And it was just on Monday, and he was doing Path of Exile 1. He's also got like about 100,000 followers, so it'd probably be difficult to get a word in edgewise. It's the only bad thing about dealing with big streamers is if you have a question about something, it's like it's not even reasonable to ask. I'll have to check and see if he's got like a Discord page or something maybe in. Oh yeah, so he has Discord, but it's just a link to Max Roll, which is, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to join the Max Roll site, but it's not gonna really let me ask him a question and get to him easily. Yeah, I'll see if I can find out from the guy and see what's going on with it. Maybe we'll luck out and be able to get some information. I don't really want to waste that on a tier 12. Let's do one of these corrupted 15s, why not? Oh no, not extra chaos damage.
Skittering legs in the shadows. Back, creature!
Those mana draining guys right off the bat always freaks me out. Oh, the diamonds come from trial chests? Wow, okay. Is it specifically the Trial of Chaos or the Trial of Sechamus also? Or one or the other?
Didn't break a sweat. Garukan favors me.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's probably valid. So yeah, they take the trial that everybody fucking hates and they put the best items in the game in it. Nice. I wonder if it's a specific tier as well. I mean, because you get access to the chests at each of the floors you complete. So I wonder if it only comes out of like the 4th floor, or if you can get them on floor 3, or like that's another big question. Div orb just dropped. Hell yeah. Yeah, that figures probably only out of the gold chests as well, which also means that your Atlas passive is not going to help you at all. But I mean, at least if we can get one of them to drop, you know, like if we just go in and start doing those things, if we can at least get one to drop, we'll be able to figure out pretty quickly by just slotting it in to see whether or not it only is affected by ones that you have purchased, or if it is affected by all the ones in range. Unless you can find the answer to that one. It's actually really funny that you brought that up, though, because I just naturally assumed that it would be all of them because of the last build. I think it was the last build that I played had one of those gems in it in Path of Exile 1, but you specifically wanted to put it in an area that just had shit tons of nodes in it because you were getting credit for every single node in that area. So I just assumed that this one would be every node, but there isn't. possibility that it is not. Which means I will have to figure out how people are getting the extra spirit. That's still a shit ton of spirit to have to find. It's actually kind of funny with these strong boxes in Path of Exile 1. They were pretty brutal to deal with, because when you would pop them, they would instantly freeze you, and you would just have this massive pile of enemies all over the place that would obliterate you before you could get rid of the freeze, unless you had a potion to deal with it. But now that they have the gap from the point that you click on it until the stuff spawns, it's like getting frozen by the chest is like pointless. I don't even understand why they do it, because the freeze wears off before the mobs start spawning. Even under the new system, it still wears off first.
Die, scum! Die, forgotten! Garukan favors me.
Alright, I just have the boss left now. Clear out the rest of the map. We still got over 50. Down to 17. Alright. Oh, it's this boss. Actually, this is there we go, Vanquisher's Book of Knowledge. Needed some more of that. That's good. Actually, why did I pick that other map up? It was pointless. Five creatures left. Let's circle around the back here and see if they're hanging out. If not, get out of here.
Haunted stone!
There we go. Got nothing out of it, but they're dead. Yeah, I do hope they go ahead and get the setup done for
Go on.
For being able to get sockets on the belt buckles, the relic slots. I hope that's something that they change. They either get them to drop more frequently or something. Because yeah, it feels kind of boring just never being able to find a belt with good stats, and one of the stat slots having to be taken up with having more slots for that.
On with the work.
I'd like to see it just as like a guaranteed implicit or something like that on belts, and just a random roll for however many of them you get. Oh, that's not a bad jewel. Yeah, take it easy, man. Good to see you. Probably see you tomorrow night. Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent jewel there.
I'll be here.
Pop that with an Exalt and then hope for something else good on it. 3 stun buildup. Actually, I don't know if that's any good or not, but I'm going to go with probably not. Yeah, there's not many of them up for sale, but yeah, I'm definitely getting more than one T15 map out of each map that I'm doing. So it's like this is definitely a good way to keep the upkeep on maps, because that was starting to become a problem in the early day. That's fairly garbage. It's 5, yeah. Honestly, if a wand doesn't start with +2 like lightning skills, it's probably not even worth trying to enchant, to be quite honest. No, 20% movement speed, that's actually not bad. I'll hold on to that one.
On with the work.
What else has it got? Cold resist, max mana, those are both good. I'll dump some exalts into it and see what happens. Max life, meh. 49% reduced chill is kind of also meh. Oops. Toss that in there. So I'm slowly trying to move down through this way and see if I can get over. I was hoping I could just go straight across here and get to this this thing, but I'm not seeing an exit out of this section over here anywhere. Oh wait, there's one. Comes down into here. Okay. So yeah, probably worth it to keep going that direction. Pumped and worthless. Yeah. Nothing about that's too bad. Probably want to. Rest of these Atlas passives in here. Plus one map, boss difficulty, 15% chance to drop waystones of the current or higher. That's not too bad. An additional shrine. Oh, now that's nice. Guaranteed irradiated with boss. That's huge. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely the best path to go, I think. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know if I really care for the shrine. It's like you're getting +1 map difficulty either way. Having an additional essence might be better. Go that path. It's still going to take 4 to get there. Either way. And then 30% chance to also be corrupted is pretty decent. Oh, Arbiter, yeah. So there's a raid over in Matisse. Did you guys get it finished up? Might have tired Matisse out. He was a bit.
Didn't break a sweat.
Plants always freak the shit out of me. The similar looking plants from the first game were pretty nasty with like poisons and shit they would drop on the ground. Every time I see them, it's like gonna die. Oh wow, the raid's still going on? Holy shit. Didn't you guys start that like 3 or... I don't know, maybe only 2 hours ago. That's still pretty bad for for content that old. We weren't doing 2-hour BWL runs when it was current content. Flask's about to run out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's pretty fucking sad.
Inhuman beast.
And people wonder why I don't sign up for Wednesday night raids. Yeah. It's like, oh, sorry guys, my internet's getting spotty. Click. I don't really feign disconnects though. I just tell people that they fucking suck and then I leave. So I just don't care. It's like I got better things to do than fucking game with retards. Be right back, cat on fire, yeah. Yeah, I really just I could not handle running with groups like that. It's like I'm fine with the fact that people suck at the game. I just don't want to play with them. And not everybody has to play at the level I play at, but I also don't want to play with them.
Garu Khan favors me.
Yeah, there's a lot of rares in this map. I've already killed some, and there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more in unexplored areas. So it's like a 10 rare map here. So yeah, when they were like, oh yeah, maps are guaranteed to have 3 rares in them now, I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But knowing that some of the maps have 10 rares in them, I don't think 3's enough. It's like there should be guaranteed like 5.
Fall before me.
Okay. Yeah, so Warframe just messaged me and... Oh, hold on. So Warframe just sent me a message and said that the unique diamond can drop in a chest specifically that's specifically named to drop it, and it can be on floor 2, 3, or 4 in Trials of the Secumus. But it's a specific kind of chest that you can find. I think he said it was called Time Lost or something along those lines. Can't pull up the text at the moment because it's attacking me. But yeah, needless to say, it's a specific chest that you're looking for at least that has a really high chance of dropping. But the chest isn't always in any of the runs. Like you may go through entire runs without ever seeing the chest. And based on the price people are selling these for, that's probably more common than not,
favors me.
if I had to guess. But at least we know what you got to do to try to get it now. Standing in the fire makes my DPS go higher. Oh wow, still not complete? Oh wow. Just a double stack in the middle. It's been a very profitable run so far. By the way, I want to point out I was pretty late getting into the stream today. Like I said, I was working on a video, and it took a little longer to shoot than I was expecting. But I should have that posted up in a couple of days after I get some editing done to it. But this is the week that I'm technically going to be starting. I'm going to be starting my streams earlier, so I'll be starting 1 hour earlier than normal, and I'll still have the same approximate finishing time, just whenever I feel like it, kind of thing. But I just thought I would point that out so that people will know that I'm actually going to be around earlier. If you're going to be around, then you can come in and catch me. But it is a little after midnight now, so I think that is going to be the end of my run for the night. I definitely appreciate everybody coming out and watching and taking in the conversations. And hopefully you guys will continue to stop in and check out my videos when those get posted up on YouTube.
Time is not on our side. What can I do?
I have a couple up now,
Time
and
is not
I
on our
plan to
side.
start getting my review videos, or what I'm going to be focusing on next, to get reviews out for some of the games that I've been playing, like Once Human, stuff like that, so people know what they're getting into. But yeah, hopefully I'll have that stuff out sometime next week. And yeah, we'll just keep growing the YouTube side of things. Unfortunately, I think Twitch is just going to grow as YouTube grows at this point, since there's not a lot of ways to really get discovered on Twitch very much. Just pop in and raid other people from time to time, but it is what it is. But yeah, the YouTube side is definitely where most of my focus is going at this point, just trying to get my name out there and get people to come and see. And if they enjoy the content, awesome, and if they don't, well, at least I'm getting some views. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the content that I've been putting out so far. Definitely, if you watch the videos, feel free to leave comments in the comment section, letting me know if you enjoy the content or not, and that kind of. Sorry, headset died in the middle of saying that, but yeah, the comments and feedback help me decide what content to cover next. So depending on how people react to certain things will depend on what type of content I continue to put out. But yeah, make sure you guys are getting in there and commenting if you have an opinion one way or the other. It's definitely stuff that I read, and I try to reply to it whenever I get a chance. But I do always read it, even if I don't get a response to it. But yeah, that's all I've got for the night. So you guys come back and check me out. I'll be here tomorrow. We'll be doing probably more Path of Exile, and then I'll be doing the standard 10 p.m. Eastern raid time, which will spend an hour and a half running through the Season of Discovery version of AQ40, which is actually AQ20. But yeah, that'll be the plan for tomorrow night, and then Friday we'll be back to Path of Exile for the whole night, and then Saturday we'll be doing Conan Exiles again. So that's the plan for the next couple of days. Hopefully we'll see you guys there, and I'm gonna try to find a nice little spot here to drop some people into. See if we can't get a nice little group of people to raid. But yeah, thanks again for everybody watching. I'm just going to take a moment to see if there's anybody that's doing anything similar to what I'm doing in Path of Exile, and then we'll go hit them up. Oh, actually, here's somebody running a monk. I actually have some interest in that, so maybe we'll pop in and see what's going on. Looks like they may still be going through the campaign a little bit, so hopefully this will be entertaining.
McDonald's that are not open. So I'm gonna do a 2023 versus 2025. McDonald's.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm on.
Hey, let's go. Where's my button? Raging Rashaka with the raid? Where's my button? Look, not my button.
You
I
spent
gotta
so
do
much
that
time
thing.
running rather than fighting.
I didn't want to die. I didn't want to die. Raging, thank you for the raid, man. How's your night going? Oh yeah, you can just do yeah, exclamation point. I got it.
I use a little assistance.
I guess I'm gonna close the
I'm
raid out
working
here.
on some maps,
We'll,
trying to get ready for the big boss.
we'll
It's
see
literally
you
my
guys,
first night on the
see you
game,
guys
so
tomorrow.
I don't even know how